Welcome back to the Data Kitchen, episode 2. Today's topic is Starbucks. We're your hosts, Eric and Ramir. How's it going, Ramir?
Oh well, I got a Starbucks coffee in honor of today's episode, so you know, let's take it nice.
So, we're going to be talking about Starbucks. What started out as simply a coffee shop, Starbucks has grown into this iconic company known a lot of times for their innovation and cultural influence. We'll be analyzing a very unique data set. The data happens to be a LinkedIn post that went viral recently from former CEO Howard Schultz. So Howard created the post shortly after Starbucks announced they had missed earnings. This led to a flood of over 1,500 comments coming from a wide range of consumers, people including CEOs, marketing leaders, ex-employees. Everyone was letting out, voicing their opinion, all the concerns with the recent changes in Starbucks. So we thought it'd be fun and interesting to dig in and analyze this data set. And so we've brewed up some really interesting insights for you here today. So to set some context, I'm going to quickly walk through how we did our analysis. Unlike traditional customer analyses, which often is going to be really manual, time consuming, you might have someone in CX doing this type of analysis. We just use Dashbot. We use Dashbot to automatically enrich and label the data set so we could quickly analyze the sentiments and categories expressed by all these commenters on the post. This approach not only saved us time, but also provided us with some deeper data-driven insights that we're excited to share. To wrangle this data, we had to first go to the Howard Schultz post and extract all of those rich comments. So if we look here, there's over 11,000 reactions, over 1,500 people commented on this post, and there's a ton of insight locked inside these comments. So we went ahead, scraped those out. They're all unstructured comments. We took the metadata about the people who commented as well, and we needed to move that over to a spreadsheet. So I'll show you that next. Now, here's what the data looks like once we got it into a spreadsheet. The rich insights are going to be located in the open-ended column and the open-ended comments on column F. The problem is manually reading these, and trying to find patterns would take hours, if not days. The insights we find would also be a little bit biased. We'd probably cherry pick some of the best comments, and it would really just be impossible to analyze this entire data set holistically. So what if we could do that instantly? That's why we have the tool Dashbot, and that's what we're going to use. To dive into this data, I'm going to pass it over to Ramir, who will show us exactly how Dashbot automatically transformed thousands of lines of unstructured comments and turn this textual data into a clear picture of the public opinion.
All right, thanks, Eric. After you went ahead and extracted the comments into the spreadsheet, we definitely loaded them into Dashbot, and from there, just like last time, we got a lot of extra context added in on the data. Now, for this one, we really just used the LinkedIn comments that we scraped, and we were able to pull out some of the categories, some of the themes, and even some of the products that people were talking about, and really understand like what they were saying and how they felt about it firstly. So the first thing that we're going to look at in Data Slicer is we're going to look at the products, and we're actually going to look at the sentiment. So exactly like how people felt about it. This is a sunburst graph. I think it's a pretty cool visual. We can see here that people have a lot of negative sentiment, which makes sense because in the context of the post, Howard is talking about how they missed earnings. So I'm sure people have a lot of reasons as to why. If we look here on the right, we can actually see that we can filter by any of these sort of products that we saw that people are kind of talking about. Let's just take a look at the coffee and see what people are saying. So let's tap into this one. Starbucks coffee quality is really poor. Many local coffee shops have superior coffee, and they need better coffee and lower prices. So, I mean, I think that's pretty clear. I mean, I'm kind of liking my coffee here, but it's definitely more for the sugar and the vanilla than it is for the actual grounds themselves. So, I think that people understand that. If we dig deeper into what Dashbot was actually able to uncover from all of the comments in the post, the sophisticated labeling and enrichment tools have kind of given us a sort of comprehensive look at what people are actually expressing when it comes to the different products that they mentioned. Another part of the analysis that we're going to look at is the actual categories, so like the high level themes of what people were talking about, and then the reasons, which is exactly why they brought them up. We can see here that generally people are talking about customer service, customer experience. There is also some positive feedback as well, which is really good for Starbucks, and pricing. So those seem to be like the top areas. If we look into see how people feel about the customer service experience, let's just look at this. So let's tap into this one. I've been a Starbucks lover from the beginning, spent a lot of time. However, over the last few years, not been as enjoyable. Customer service has deteriorated, as well as the taste of their drinks. And she kind of goes on in further detail here. Essentially, we can see that there is a significant shift in like how customers actually perceive Starbucks over time. And the idea of the old Starbucks being better, sort of in service and in coffee quality, shows that this that the customers' perception of Starbucks has sort of changed over time, seeing it as kind of becoming a more of an optimization for getting people in and out of the door rather than allowing people to enjoy like a sort of coffee experience. Okay, so if we look deeper at another issue, which was pricing, I want to go ahead and talk through some of this. This was mentioned by a lot of people because price sensitivity is actually one of the biggest complaints specifically for Starbucks, not related to the actual product or ordering. Many see Starbucks as like a luxury, questioning the value for money. And basically, the analysis that we found is that people are willing to pay for quality, but there's this perceived perception of sort of a decrease in the quality of the coffee. To wrap this up, Starbucks has definitely created like a really solid brand, something that people recognize. People obviously like to talk about it, they like to go there and see what they have. But there is a change in how people view Starbucks, and people don't feel the same way that they did feel about it. People are feeling a bit more like Starbucks doesn't care about them as a customer or as a coffee drinker. And this is something that was really reflected by the comments underneath Howard's post.
You know, those were some really interesting insights, Ramir. I love that you looked at the analysis from multiple angles. I think we had the in-store experiences, the ordering, the app, pricing, all being major categories that are driving and the reason behind these comments. So I think we can conclude that the modern Starbucks experience is at a crossroads with its customers. Will Starbucks continue down this road of optimizing for efficiency and volume of this mass market over the personalized experiences catering to the coffee aficionado? I think only time will tell, but as we can see from the data analysis and the missed earnings, there's a lot that can be fixed to improve the experience. Starbucks might consider balancing their fast service model with spaces that reflect the traditional European cafe culture, and not just through their high-end reserve locations, but in every single store. This way, they can cater to both the on-the-go customer and those who look for that slower cafe experience. So thank you for joining us in the Data Kitchen. And don't forget to share your thoughts and tune in for more data-driven culinary adventures. See you guys next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.